Kirk Douglas, who passed away on February 5, 2020, enjoyed one of Hollywood's most stellar careers, with the American Film Institute naming him the 17th greatest male star of classic Hollywood cinema. Though he never won a competitive Academy Award, earning only an honorary Lifetime Achievement Oscar, his influence on the film industry traversed generations. But for the man born Ishor Danilovich in 1916, perhaps his biggest success was making it through his childhood, a period which saw him foster so much rage he thought had die aggressive. The Ragman's Son, Douglas' 1988 autobiography, charts his rise to fame, outlining in forensic detail his life growing up. His parents Brina Bertha and Herschel Harry Danilovich were immigrants from what is now known as Belarus, and Douglas was the fourth of 7 children they had together. The only boy alongside 6 sisters, Douglas talked of how his father had been a horse trader in Russia and got himself a horse and a small wagon, and became a ragman, buying old rags, pieces of metal, and junk for pennies, nickels, and dimes. Douglas went on to note how unhappy his childhood became, particularly due to his father's alcoholism, which was funded by whatever money he made as a trader, leaving them in crippling poverty. The ordeal instilled in Douglas feelings of anger and hatred, and as he grew older, he said he was probably the most disliked actor in Hollywood on account of his temperament. He wrote, "I feel pretty good about it. Because that's me. I was born aggressive, and I guess I'll die aggressive." There was an awful lot of rage churning around inside me, rage that I was afraid to reveal because there was so much more of it, and so much stronger, in my father. It negatively influenced his own attempts at being a father, including his son Michael, who went one step further than his father in Hollywood by claiming a cherished Oscar. Michael, according to a Mirror report in 2020, felt that while growing up Douglas only visited him and his brother Joel out of guilt following the breakdown of his first marriage to Diana Dill, Michael's mother. This, Michael remarked, was why he refused to call Douglas dad, adding, in those key years, when Kirk was doing 5 movies a year. Kirk was all-consumed, was overworked. Probably like myself at a certain time in my life. While this negatively influenced their relationship, another turning point for the pair came after Douglas sold the rights he had obtained to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest to his son, and was then not cast in the film. The title role Douglas longed for, was eventually given to Jack Nicholson, leaving the star fuming at Michael. In a cruel twist, the 1975 film was a critical success, claiming the top 5 Academy Awards that season. Speaking to authors James Bawden and Ron Miller in their 2016 book Conversations with Classic Film Stars, Interviews from Hollywood's Golden Era, Douglas described the film as way ahead of its time. He continued, "When I took it to Broadway, the critics didn't know what to make of it. The audience loved it, but it didn't do very well. I tried for nearly 12 years to make it as a movie. I took it to every studio. But they wouldn't do it, even with a limited budget. Finally, I went into partnership with my son, Michael, and we were able to find somebody outside of the industry to put up the money, and we made a little picture that I never predicted would be a hit. So it did over $200 million. Nobody knows what will really be successful." The pair's relationship did, however, grow again, and when Douglas died, Michael led Hollywood in grieving for one of its most cherished stars. In a statement, he said, it is with tremendous sadness that my brothers and I announce that Kirk Douglas left us today at the age of 103. To the world, he was a legend, an actor from the golden age of movies who lived well into his golden years, a humanitarian whose commitment to justice and the causes he believed in set a standard for all of us to aspire to. But to me and my brothers Joel and Peter he was simply Dad, to Catherine, Zeta-Jones, a wonderful father-in-law, to his grandchildren and great-grandchild, their loving grandfather, and to his wife Anne, a wonderful husband. Dad, I love you so much and I am so proud to be your son. Another to pay tribute was Steven Spielberg, who gave Douglas his honorary Oscar in 1996. He said, "Kirk retained his movie star charisma right to the end of his wonderful life and I'm honored to have been a small part of his last 45 years." The director added, "I will miss his handwritten notes, letters and fatherly advice, and his wisdom and courage, even beyond such a breathtaking body of work, are enough to inspire me for the rest of mine."